we still have the step in creating a webinar. And luckily, we have this group of people who has their expertise in this field.
Want to create or present amazing webinars? Here are the steps on webinar strategy, planning, hosting, and presenting that can help you succeed. Step 1. Choose your team. Working together, a team can apply individual perspectives, experience, and skill to solve complex problems, creating new solutions and ideas that may be beyond the scope of any one individual, as well as enhancing organizations' performance. Good teamwork benefits individuals too. Step 2. Planning. Every step of the webinar planning process is important. Poor preparation can cause the webinar to fail on a technical level or delivery level. Poor delivery can be a huge turn-off to the audience. That's why it is important to determine the goals and objectives of your webinar, determine your target audience, choose your topic, and arrange for a technical expert to be on hand to support. Step 3. Set your goals. Determine webinar objectives and desired outcomes. Identify technology tools and team skills needed. Build a project plan and successfully kick this off. Step 4. Hit the perfect time. When it comes to choosing a date and time, most organizations make decisions based on a venue availability, travel time, length of the presentation, and holidays. Set up a date is an extrinsic aspect of the purpose for a goal or goal setting. Setting up a schedule is part of the extrinsic effort to reach that goal. Step 5. Working and designing the materials needed in a webinar. Step 6. Choose your audience and send the invitation to all the participants in the webinar. Step 7. Check your connection and the audio. because it is the most important element of your webinar to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Step 8. Practicing the concept of the webinar. A webinar is an engaging online event where a speaker or a small group of a speaker deliver a presentation to a large audience who participate by submitting questions, responding to polls, and using other available interactive tools. Now, let us have Mr. Jude OANE for closing remarks.
And our webinar, I have reminder for us. Anywhere, anytime, learning that digital and media literacies support is now a fundamental human right that calls for equal access by all. Yet the gap between today's world of education and that of an interconnected world dependent upon quick and ready to access media and information, and the ability to discern and act responsibly is part of the societies and more reliant than ever upon human capital that can contribute to success and sustainability. Yet the policies and the research that informs them are widening the digital and media literacy gaps rather than narrowing them. Thank you. I hope that you learn a lot from our webinar.
If you get hold of conducting mind-blowing webinars in the 21st century, you are halfway down to success lane. With technology overtaking one-to-one meetings, webinars are the future of learning. Thus, take a course if you need to. Read books and attend other sessions to make sure that when you host yours, you ace it.
That was so perfect! We are all just a rookie with making a webinar, and that they shared us will be really helpful with our own webinar making. But of course, the most important person in the webinar is you, the speaker. And a speaker does not just only speak or act however she or he wanted to. Since the speaker is the center of any webinar, and with that, let us have this group of people who can give us the proper etiquette of speaker during presentation.
Hello guys, I am Lauren Albandilla and we're going to share some tips about what proper when having a webinar, especially when you are speakers, and it has 7 categories, and there are clothing, postures, expressions, voice, gestures, interaction, and last is clarity of informations. And now let us have postures.
Posture is one of the things that need to consider when you are speakers. And when you're a speaker, you need to stand and lift your shoulder and be relaxed and natural. A relaxed and straight posture will convey confidence and to your audience and demonstrate high status, meaning the audience feel that you are something worth listening to, help you to breathe easily and project your voice. And always wear your beautiful smile.
Reka May Amparo, 3A BEd. Voice. Speak loudly and clearly. Dito, yung malakas pero naiintindihan. Speak with enthusiasm, enjoyment, interest, and approval ng mga nakikinig. Project your voice. Dito naman yung pagbigkas mo na naiintindihan ng iyong mga tagapakinig. Variety the pace, pitch, and volume of your delivery. Dito naman yung volume mo, may mahina, may malakas, at kung paano mo mai-deliver sa iyong mga nakikinig. Articulate your voice. yung pagbigkas mo sa mga sentence na malinaw at naiintindihan.
Hi, my name is Irame Villamayor from 3AP Ed, and I am here to speak about the clothing or the appropriate attire that we should wear in a webinar. First thing that we need to remember is your clothes speak for you. It means that what you wear reflects on your profession and in your character. Examples of that professions are the police, the teachers, the doctors, nurses, lawyers, and many more. They have their own uniform or attire in their own work. And one example also is when they are invited in a webinar to speak about the topic they are familiar or their profession, they should be wearing a formal or a casual or a polo shirt, polo, long sleeve, or anything that will show also their profession. But we should also consider, or they should also be considering the audience attire. They should hindi nila kailangang i-overdo yung sarili nila, yung masyadong magdamit ng sobra, mag-formal or anything that is overdue in the said webinar. Because in this time of pandemic, the audience, they are what they are comfortable with, and because they are only in their house, but they also wear something presentable with the said to a webinar. They are invited or they want to learn something from it. So, pero as a speaker, wag naman tayong sobrang naka-t-shirt lang na parang hindi tayo magsasalita, na hindi tayong speaker, at mas sobra pa yung suot ng audience mo kaysa sa'yo. So, wag naman ganun. So, the second one that we should also consider as a speaker is that the background in our video, it should be contrasted. It should be contrast on what we are wearing and in our background. Example is this background. It color white, so it's okay to wear something colorful or pink, black, or something that has color and not white. And lastly, that we should also consider is, and we should remember is, to wear something comfortable and keep it simple. Why we need to wear something comfortable? Because if we are not wearing something comfortable, then we are unfocused on our topic or what we are presenting to the audience. And just keep it simple and presentable, of course. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lauren Casilag from 3AP at Gestures. Gestures reflects speaker thoughts. Kailangan sa isang speaker magre-reflect kung ano ba yung sinasabi niya para mag-reflect sa mga audience. Better understands communication partners. Mas magandang nagkakaintindihan kayo ng iyong kapartners. Use your physical expression to connect with the audience. Kailangan yung physical expression mo, makukonect mo sa iyong mga manunood. Show commitment to get the message across. Kailangan maipakita mo kung ano ba yung sinasabi na mensahe sa mga audience. Make the presentation attractive. Yan, kailangan maipakita mo kung ano ba yung sinasabi ng iyong presentation sa mga audience. Kailangan ma-attract ninyo. Another explanation, remove it of a part of the body, especially hands and head, express the idea or a meaning. Thank you.
Hi, good day everyone. So let's have clarity of presentation. Bilang speaker, bakit nga ba mahalaga na merong clarity of presentation? Unang-una, nagkakaroon ng connection and engagement between speaker and audience if your presentation is clear. At next, dahil sa engaging yon, mas makukuha mo ang attention ng audience. Next, increase transparency and trust. Kasi if you have clarity of presentation, naiiwasan ng misleading of information. Mas nakikita nila yung nais mong iparating or yung target mong information na maibigay sa kanila. Next, it's easier to move toward the next. If meron kang clarity of presentation, hindi ka na mahihirapan or hindi mahihirapan ng audience mo na intindihin ka, kaya mas madali sa'yo ang lumipat or mag-transfer sa susunod na presentation if you have a clarity of presentation. Next, alignment makes the flow smooth. If you have a clarity of presentation, hindi ka na mahihirapan na yung information ay salasalabid or kaya naman merong nauuna na dapat sa huli mailagay. Kailangan na yung flow na information natin ay sunod-sunod at magandang pagkaka-align para mas maintindihan lalo ng audience natin. Hindi ba? At bilang speaker, kailangan din na yung ating presentation ay mas makakuha ng attention ng audience. Next, clarity eliminate distraction. If you have a clear presentation o meron kang clarity of presentation bilang speaker, i-ensure no na yung mga audience mo, may eliminate mismo sa kanila yung distraction. Hindi sila madidistract kasi nga, yung sinasabi mo is clear. So, makukuha mo attention nila. So, that is important na meron kang clarity of presentation bilang isang speaker. So, thank you!
A webinar have an etiquette that we must possess, and expression is one of it. First, what is expression?
So, what is expression on doing a webinar? Expression must often should be considered and aware of the disadvantages and advantages of it in every instances. It's not only regarding with our body languages, but of course, in times, we use it. In addition, expression on doing webinars should perform very well in order to catch their attentions, encourage to have good interaction, and of course, easily convey your message or information.
Let me introduce some benefits that expression can illustrate on doing a webinar. First, facial expressions send messages that are just important as the content itself. It gives you a chance to enhance your point. Second is to show the appreciation to the audience. And third is keep looking at all faces. And fourth is be attentive. And the last is return a smile.
Now, let us elaborate those benefits of expression on doing a webinar. The first one is facial expressions send messages that are just as important as the content itself. It gives you a chance to enhance your point. We all know that how it's important to possess a good expression in order to convey a message. It will shine as a rainbow that brings color after a rain. Without an expression, content might look like a lifeless pond. Helps you to elaborate more your point easier as it should be. The second one is shows appreciation to the audience. As a conveyor of information, you must consider your audiences. You can show your appreciation to them through a good expression that leads also to a good interaction. Third, keep looking at all faces. As a matter of fact, we all know that words and written materials are both cannot express all things that we want to deliver. We can distinguish something special without words through a good expression. In life, there are so many instances that person can visualize without it. Fourth, be attentive. It is not only regarding with the sender, but of course the receiver as well. But must possess it, which are very crucial on doing a webinar. Expressions will encourage audiences to become attentive. At last, return a smile. Many says that a good smile will result to a good presentation. Motivate the listener to listen carefully and focus by means of good way of catching their attention. That's all. Thank you.
Interaction is a kind of action that occurs as two or more objects have an effect upon one another.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One of the category of etiquette is interaction. What is interaction? Interaction is an involved and engaged audience is more likely to pay attention to you and connect with your words. Then, interaction is creating for the personal experience for the audience. Webinar have an etiquette which interaction is connected. So one of the benefits of interaction is audience-centered approach improve the speaker's effectiveness. So you must be considered your audience to know that your deliberation of your message is effective to your audience. So the second one is freeze your from a linear presentation format. So in this benefits, you need to consider that your message is direct. So, kailangan mong i-consider na direct to sa iyong audience na wala ng paligoy-ligoy pa. And then the third one keeps the audience interest. So, you may need to catch the attention of your audience na kailangan mong malaman na focus ba sila o hindi para mas maging effectiveness yung deliberation of your message. So, this is the benefits of interaction using or doing a webinar.
Now, I am sure that if you watch this, you are capable of making a webinar. Informative, reliable, and has accurate information. And also, a speaker who knows the do's and don't when it comes to a webinar. That's all. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Anyone can be a digital citizen. It's your choice to be a responsible digital citizen.
Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance.
Ignorance is the biggest enemy of humanity. In order to eradicate it, we must educate ourselves because in just one click, everything can change. So think before you click.
Computers is not about computing. It's about living.
To be digitally literate, it always starts with the word technology. But let's embrace the word technology into teachnology.
I am Jude S. OANE. I am digitally literate.
I am Monique J. Remorosa. I am digitally literate.
I'm Denmark Marceliana de LANTAR, and I am digitally literate.
I am Marinette Monteverde. I am digitally literate.
I am Buan Alan Q. Palad. I am digitally literate. We digitally literate.
Not for ourselves,
but for our country.
For peace,
Security and order.
Out of fake news and false information.
We are third-year Bachelor of Elementary Education students of Pambayang Kolehiyo ng Mauban, and now signing off.